me, is the guy. Along with, if you're talking about a guest host, Christopher Walken. All those Christopher Walken great skits, more cowbell.
Right. And I'll even go back a little earlier, because to me, yes, Will Ferrell has a big place in my timeline. But Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, David Spade, even Dana Carvey, Mike Myers.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit earlier, right? Like the year, I feel like that was early 90s, mid 90s. You're not quite college. Yeah, you're not quite college. It was more, a little younger. But to me, that's when I really started to enjoy it. Maybe. And I still miss the Chris Farley, David Spade stuff.
I don't know, is that true? I feel like a lot of the way I ingest SNL, especially now, is through YouTube. And maybe your memory's clouded a little bit, and you feel like you were watching those live, when in fact, you were watching the DVDs, you were watching them on Netflix, you were watching them on YouTube years after the fact.
Oh, it could, yes, it could be right. I don't know at the age of 12 how often I'm staying up to watch Saturday Night Live, even though we got it a little earlier in the West.
I think we can agree, though, that this current crop of SNL cast members, I have no idea who they are.
Well, isn't it always that way, though? Like, we didn't know who are some of my late favorites. I don't mean late and lately. No one knew who Kristen Wiig was until you gave her a chance. And she's honestly, she might be my favorite female ever on the program.
Terry Gilliam kind of emerged as that guy.
Sure.
He's the face of it. Well,
he's been there for a while.
Those guys are kind of emerging as the face of this current crop. I couldn't tell you who else is on there.
I might be in the minority.
Jake Farrell.
I might be in the minority, but I always really liked Horatio Sands, even though he hasn't gone on to fame and stardom.
Sure.
He was always my guy. It was really great. Now, good for you if you watch 3.5 hours of that thing, because not everything is gonna like, even to me. Listen, the Dan Aykroyd stuff, the early Steve Martin stuff. It doesn't. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. It's not funny to me.
The Aykroyd doing the Bassomatic was kind of head scratcher for me yesterday. I don't know. I know it's a throwback, but that was not funny.
Your kids won't find Seinfeld funny the same way we don't find MASH funny. That's better.
That's bad parenting.
Hey, that's just how it works. So 6:48. Let's do best and worst.
Best.
Russell Westbrook.
And worst.
Russell Brand.
With Brady and Water.
I'm of two lines of that. There's what was the movie took place in Hawaii? Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Pretty good performance by Russell Brand.
Yeah, get him to the Greek. Not a great movie overall, but he's the same
guy.
What was the other movie? And how do you divorce Katy Perry?
Yeah,
maybe it was the other way around.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Once you have that, you lock that down.
Not a decision.
Anyone else see the halftime show? That's a keeper.
Yeah, that's a keeper.
Yeah. Oh, he was in there. 6:49. Yeah, best win, worst loss, best player, worst player. What we saw in sports yesterday. So we'll start with you. Let's go worst loss. Worst loss. Let's give it to the San Jose Sharks. They're right in there battling in the Western Conference. They lose to the Lightning 5-2 at home yesterday. Their first home loss to Tampa Bay in 12 years. Mentioned they're battling the Western Conference, the Pacific Division. Now just a 1-point lead on Vancouver for second, and look at Calgary now, 1 point back as well. And they have 2 games in hand on the Sharks. I mean, the Sharks could really find themselves in that second wild card position very, very soon if those teams win their games in hand. It could be a dicey situation for San Jose. All right, my best win. It's going to sound weird, but I am still going to give it to the Philadelphia Flyers. Yes, I know they beat the Buffalo Sabres, and me, you, and Sid Cicero could probably, at least get a point, get that to overtime against the Sabres.
Gravy.
Sure. But they didn't get the point, and the Philadelphia Flyers right now, that's very important. So you look at those Western Conference standings, or the Eastern Conference standings, pardon me, and they're not completely out of it yet.
Yeah, they are.
Well, okay, I'll ask you. They have 58 points. The team to catch is the Boston Bruins. I think the top 7 in the NHL playoff picture is very much set. You're not catching Washington. You're not knocking off the Rangers in Detroit. Boston is 63 points in that wild card spot. I would submit that at 60 points, the Florida Panthers are not dead yet. They got a point yesterday, but they have lost 3 in a row. Bruins lost 3 in a row as well, by the way. The Philadelphia Flyers have 58 points. They're not done. And I would submit that it is not completely sell-all mode yet if you're the Ottawa Senators. Highly doubtful? Yes, of course it is. Completely written off? Maybe not. So even forget Ottawa for a second. Philly and or Florida. Do either of these teams have the chops to make a little bit of a run at Boston, who they're both within 3-5 points?
Yeah, mathematically, you would say absolutely.
Okay,
the others are 3 points. But
beyond math, though.
No, absolutely not. The Bruins are a totally different team once Zdeno Chara returned to that lineup. Tuukka Rask had a little bit of a bump in the road, but has come back strong. We're 4-5-1 in the last 10, though. Like, we keep waiting for Boston to do exactly what you're saying, and they've won one more game they've lost all season. Okay, no, I get that, but they remember how far back of the playoff picture they were just a month and a half ago, and how they made an incredible run once Chara did return. Because, yeah, they had disappointed very early in the season, right? This was a team that was way back in the playoffs, and then lost Chara, and continued to be on the outside looking in. And since then, they've been a much improved team, and I think much like the Los Angeles Kings, they know what they have to do to get into playoff position at the end of the season and peak at the right time.
Our worst player, I'm going to go to the NBA All-Star game, and I know it doesn't really matter, but Paul Millsap scored a team low